Hello, everybody, and welcome to a video that I am very excited for. Today, the Murders at Karlov Manor trailer came out, and I am super hyped for this set. All I know is that it is a murder mystery theme that takes place on Ravnica. That's all I know. We're going to watch the trailer together, and let's just see our first impressions.
A recent string of murders has planted the seed of societal collapse here on Ravnica. How did this get so out of hand? And who could be behind it? Well, worry not, because all will soon be made clear.
This is so cool.
Fact, the mastermind is here with us in this very room.
This is so much Hercule Poirot, and I will not let the murderer escape.
That's right. One of these Ravnicans is responsible for everything. And I, Detective Alquist Proft, will prove it. It's quite simple, really.
Yes! Oh. This is so cool. There's the red yarn.
Back to the cityscape of Ravnica.
Oh,
You'll need all your wits about you to unravel the mystery that's been building here. Crack puzzles, collect evidence, and identify suspicious individuals in order to discover who's behind the series of grisly murders throughout the plane. The brilliant detective Alquist Proft.
I love this art. Oh my gosh. Master Sleuth. He's just clearly 2 steps ahead. This is the exact look that someone's like, I know what's going on here. Oh my gosh, this is glorious art. Congrats, Andreas Zafaratos. Well done.
Announced that he has discovered the guilty party and invited everyone involved in the investigation to join him for the reveal. But which of them did?
That's such a funny premise. I know who's guilty, and I'm going to invite all of you here. And then if the person doesn't show up, then everyone knows they're guilty. So they all just show up and hope he's wrong. It's amazing.
Did it? We will go over the events so far and attempt to discover the killer before Detective Proft can unveil the truth.
Oh, man.
Our story began in the wake of the Phyrexian invasion.
Okay.
When Phyrexia attacked, most of the Ravnican guilds united to repel the assault. With Phyrexia defeated, Ravnica has been eager to get back to normal.
Oh my gosh. Expedited inheritance. Just brutal. My gosh.
And what better way to demonstrate that the people's spirits remain unbroken than a big shindig at Karlov Manor?
Nice. I love a shindig.
The host of the event was Teysa Karlov, guild leader.
Also, why is Karlov so similar to Markov? Like, Soren's last name is Markov, and then these folks' name is Karlov. I thought this plane took place on. Thought this set took place on Innistrad for the longest time. Ooh. Anyway, 1 black white, 2/3 human advisor. Investigate. I love investigate. That's a great mechanic. Clues. You get spirits. Perfect. That fits Teysa amazingly. Great work.
Legendary aristocrat and scion of the powerful Karlov family.
Cool art.
During the Phyrexian invasion, she saved many lives by supplying key intelligence about the advancing armies.
Nice.
And so who could begrudge her for throwing a well-deserved party?
Good job, Teysa.
Everyone who is anyone was there, and everyone else was trying to get in. One featured guest.
Undergrowth recon. He's got these cool binocular-looking things. Nice.
Was an old Orzhov friend of Teysa's, heroine Planeswalker Kaya. Since the Phyrexian defeat, Kaya has found herself back in her old stomping grounds. Reluctantly attending the party, she assessed the scene, looking for any reason to make her escape. In addition to celebrating a return to normalcy, the Karlov Manor party served to cement a new status quo by hosting members of the Ravnican Agency of
Ezrim, Agency Chief. Jason A. Engel. Whoa, the faceless guy on a winged griffin looking thing. Nice.
Magicological Investigations. The agency are a fresh force in Ravnican society, established to make sure that guild politics don't affect the investigation of actual crimes, or at least that they affect them less. One of the members...
Unscrupulous agent, just breaking the window. These arts are so flavorful. Like, look, the novice inspector is just like looking at this thing. He's like, which way is up? Am I holding this map the correct way? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm so hyped for this set now.
Of actual crimes. Or
I also just love the Granite Witness, because the idea is that it was just a statue and then somebody put this hat on it. or it was just sitting there with all this apparel on it, just frozen, and someone thought it was a statue, and so they committed a crime right in front of it. It's so good.
At least that they affect them less. One of the members of the agency is rookie investigator Kellen. He is
Kellen's everywhere. Kellen's just popping up every single plane. It's like, yes, finally I've got a job here. Oh my gosh. Kellen, you were just on Eldraine. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I love that Kellen just pops around everywhere, just getting little adventures. Human Fairy Detective. Nice. Nice, nice. Let's just read the card while we're at it. Investigate, you can play an extra land. That's a cool effect. So it's kind of like a Explore effect. And then Flying Vigilance, when it attacks, destroy an artifact. And then you can kill your own artifacts to draw cards. Nice.
Is eager to follow the clues wherever they may lead him. The night proceeded as planned, the party's opulence drowning the recent woes of Ravnica in splendor and excess. But the festivities were interrupted when a body was found sprawled in the cloakroom on a pile of coats. It was the leader of the Simic Guild, Zagana.
No!
The party was immediately awash in suspicion. As luck would have it,
the party was immediately awash in suspicion. Obviously, there was a dead body found. Oh, gosh.
Alquist Proft, Ravnica's self.
Oh, I want to read the flavor text.
Oh, suspicion.
It popped up anyway.
As luck would have it, Alquist Proft.
As luck would have it, Proft brushed past the guards and introduced himself as the Great Detective Proft, without a hint of irony, then identified the culprit within minutes. That's amazing. He just walks in, he's like, I'm the Great Detective Proft. Of course you have heard of me. And then he just gets it. No hint of irony there. Oh, man. Target creature gets +2/+2. Investigate. Nice. Solid little combat trick.
Proft, Ravnica's self-styled Great Detective, was on the scene.
The Absorias are too obsessed with facts to see the truth that knits them together. They'll never solve this case unless I step in. Oh, my gosh. I love him already. He's just like completely self-confident. That's how we'll put it. I just love it. I love this character already.
As well, ready to investigate any clues that might have been left behind. Investigate is a returning mechanic
that
immerses
a great mechanic.
You in the feeling of being a detective and will have you digging deeper into the goings-on. It enables you to create a clue token, which is a colorless art.
Confiscated from the twin heirs of the Lusat family will not be easy to unlock. Confiscated.
Artifact token that you can sacrifice in order to draw a card.
Nice. This music in the background is really, really good, by the way. It's really getting me into it.
Quickly realized two things. One, the seemingly random coats underneath Zagana display the insignia.
Oh, nice! Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. So the one in the upper right is Azorius. The one in the lower right is Gruul. There's Demir down there. There is Orzhov. There is Simic. There is Izzet is in the upper left. Golgar is in the lower left. And then Rakdos is down bottom center. Is that only 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the logos. And then Demir is maybe right behind her head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Of each of the guilds. Not a clue so much as an anti-clue or a pile of red herring.
I guess I don't. Yeah, I can only see some of them. But I guess maybe I'm just missing some of the art. But yeah, I see 3, 6, 8 guilds. Yeah.
But he also noticed that someone was wearing Selesnyan colors without the appropriate sigil. A disguise. The new disguise mechanic imbues the game with a sense of mystery. Anything could be hiding under your opponent's upturned cards.
Ooh, it's kind of like Morph, but face up. When it's turned face up, exile up to X other target creatures from the battlefield and or creature cards from graveyards. When it leaves the battlefield, turn them to their owner's hands. Whoa, that's a cool effect.
Disguise allows you to cast cards face down.
Face down.
So no other player knows what it is. Pay 3 to cast this spell, and it becomes a 2/2 creature with ward.
So it's like a Morph, but with Ward 2? Creature that was cloaked or cast with disguise has Ward 2.
Ward 2 and no other abilities. You may turn it face up anytime you have priority by paying its disguise cost.
Nice. It's like a
This
Morph.
happens immediately, doesn't use the stack, and can't be responded to.
It's just
that
like Morph.
2/2 creature your opponent thought was safe to block is actually an angel. Perfect to fly over for some free lifelink. But
I wonder if they'll have a similar rule that they had with morphs in Cons of Tarkir, where like there's a certain threshold where you have to flip the morph, like in order to be able to attack past a 2/2. So it's like it used to be in Cons of Tarkir where they had to have 5 mana before it could just straight up eat a 2/2 in combat. So when your opponent attacks their 2/2 into your 2/2, you can block it until they have 5 mana. I wonder if they'll do something similar here. It looked like it for that one because that one was 4 mana to flip and it was a 4/2. But that's just something to keep in mind. The wheels are turning.
Before Proft could pull the mysterious guest aside,
expose the culprit.
Identity was revealed.
Trada is obviously guilty of the murder.
Oh, man. Well, Proft's voice comes back. So cool.
Etrata, deadly fugitive. Etrata is clearly guilty of the murder.
Whoa. I love Etrata. She was such a cool flavor last time she was in a set. Death touch face down creatures, turn it face up. If you can't exile it, then you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If you can't turn it face up. Okay. I'm not sure if you can't turn it face up. Why wouldn't you be able to turn it face up? I guess maybe with like a manifest or something. I don't know. But yeah. Deals combat damage when opponent cloak with the top card of that player's library. Ooh, cloaking.
And yet has no memory of killing. Etrata is obviously guilty of the murder, and yet has no memory of killing Zagana. Clearly, the roots of this case go much deeper than I initially suspected.
Deeper than I suspected.
Kaya was ready to leave the plane she once called home, but was summoned back to the scene of the crime at Karlov Manor.
Scene of the crime!
Untapped creature, add 1 mana of any color. Nice. Sack it to draw a card. Seems pretty decent.
Teysa claimed to have something important to tell her, but by the time Kaya arrived, Teysa's body was already cold.
No! Teysa dies! But she was just the hero! Didn't she save people? Multiplying questions in a dead friend. Oh no. Suspected creature? Oh my gosh, there's suspects?
Another murder. Kaya discovered a note written in Teysa's hand, but the script was Phyrexian. Was Teysa working for them?
Oh
and
no.
Could there be another murderer on the loose? With these unanswered questions spurring her on, and a dead friend...
Etrata was in custody long before Teysa was killed. It's impossible that she could be the culprit. Good job, Alquist. Solid logic.
To put to rest, Kaya took on the case. Cases are a new mechanic that allow you to experience the different steps as a mystery unfolds.
Whoa, it's like Saga. Oh, to solve, you control 3 or more artifacts. You solve at the beginning of your end step. Solved, sacrifice this case, but 4 counters. Nice.
Just as a detective would. Cases are quest-like enchantments with 3 abilities. The top ability is always active. The middle is a condition to solve the case, and the bottom a reward once you've solved it.
That's so cool. Also, Case of the Filched Falcon is just making me think of the Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart. What a sweet movie.
Back at the agency,
Kaya
and Kellen bumped into Agris Koss, who was one of Boros' best...
Eventually, I'll give retirement another shot. But not today. Spirit detective, let's go.
...investigators when he was alive. Things hadn't changed much now that he's dead. Reluctantly assisting in the agency's investigation, he was prepared to catch any person suspected of foul play. Suspect is another new mechanic, which allows you to cast your well-honed detective eye at any creatures that looks like they might be up to no good. Suspected is a label that can be applied to a creature.
Has menace. Because it's a menace! Yes! That's amazing!
Once suspected, a creature remains suspected until it leaves the battlefield or another effect causes it to no longer be suspected. Kaya and Kellen, beginning their investigation, went to speak to Judith of the Rakdos.
Nice.
Judith was present the night of the Karlov Manor party.
This just reminds me of a game of Clue. Like, you just go to talk to all the witnesses. I don't make my living hiding the truth, detective. I shout it from the stage. Oh my gosh.
Kaya was surprised she was even invited, and more surprised to learn that Judith had a disagreement with Teysa before her murder. Judith insisted that she was innocent, but did inform the detectives that they didn't have the whole story. She pointed them to the original guild pact at V2Gazi and promised that it would clarify things. Meanwhile, Croft had decided to go about things a little differently.
I have a new and unlikely partner, Etrata. After all, who would be more motivated to clear her name?
Oh, what a hype!
It helps to have an assassin on my side as I untangle this thicket of clues and false leads.
Yes!
Etrata and Alquist headed to the last place.
That's such a cool dream team. Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
She remembered being before waking up at the party, one of her assassin-friendly hiding places. They discovered a fine yellow-gray powder dusting her bedside table and pillowcase, their first major piece of evidence. Collect evidence is another new mechanic. You can solve a mystery.
Collect evidence. Oh my gosh, it's like a war. This is a cool card. Death Touch Haste, Axbane Ferox. Just a cool looking card all around and kind of hard to kill too. Mana value 4 greater, nice.
In your head, but nothing is as important as hard evidence when bringing the guilty to justice. To collect evidence, exile any number of cards from your graveyard with the total mana value of the indicated number or greater. Some cards even unlock alternative effects when entering the battlefield if evidence was collected. As Alquist pondered the meaning of the powder, he was attacked by Massacre Girl, an infamous Rakdos assassin.
I always forget Massacre Girl is legendary. Did I do it? You'll have to be more specific.
Thanks to Etrata, Massacre Girl was sent packing. But who would have hired her to kill Proft? And why?
Persons of interest.
Kaya and Kellen headed out into the wilderness, or as close as Ravnica gets to wilderness, to see the new literal resting place.
Oh, branch of Vitu-Ghazi! Oh, that's so cool. Disguise! Face down. Nice. Nice. You don't lose it into nice. This card looks sweet.
Of Vitu-Ghazi as the giant tree recovers from the battle with the Phyrexians.
Nice.
Kaya and Kellen were stopped in front of their destination by Tolsimir and his wolf Voya.
Tolsimir is so high! Voya's a 5/5 now? Nice. 3/2. Nice. Nice!
Tolsimir seemed standoffish and on edge, almost as though he and his pointy-toothed companion had something to hide. But after a couple of tense moments, he agreed to lead our intrepid investigators inside Vitu-Ghazi. Trostani, the Dryad Guildmaster of the Selesnya
Tangled in the heart of Vitu-Ghazi, they guard their secrets from eager ears.
Conclave, have roots that tangle with the living wood of Vitu-Ghazi, so that the two seem inextricable. Trostani was once 3 dryads, Sim representing harmony, Oba representing life, and Ses representing order.
I did not know that.
Now all are united with each other and the World Tree. They pointed the investigators towards the guild pact they sought. The investigators learned that the cult of Rakdos was founded and bound to Rakdos in the hope that it would prevent him from his practice of instilling murderous rage into random citizens.
That's just a funny sentence. They bound it to him in the hope that it would prevent him from instilling murderous rage into citizens.
That sure sounds like what happened to Etrata.
Oh, Rakdos. A suspect.
Etrata and Alquist headed to see Kylox the Inventor, hoping he might be able
Oh, dinosaur! Oh, Deviashino. I love it. This card just looks cool. I love Inventors. 7 mana, 4/4. Menace, Ward 2, Haste. Attacks, sacrifice any number of creatures, exile the top cards, any number of instances. Ooh, that's a sweet design. Oh, that's such a cool one. Oh, that's so cool.
to shed some light on the mysterious powder. Alquist had some suspicions about what that substance had to do with murders, and knew that only an advanced scientific mind could help him get to the bottom of it. And when he and Etrata arrived at Kylox's lab, they found it in a state of turmoil.
Oh no.
Alquist combed through the ransacked
The case of the ransacked lab
for clues and discovered a secret disguised hatch that led underneath the lab. Kylox must have tried to escape. Alquist and Etrata followed the path only to find the missing Kylox working furiously in a secret office. Before they had a chance to discuss the powder, a group of goblins broke in to capture the artificer. Alquist and Etrata were able to quickly hide from being taken themselves, but managed to follow the group to somewhere on Tin Street. They discovered that Krenko, another suspect...
Krenko, nice. Krenko's such a cool character. They always get cool designs. Sack an artifact, counter on each goblin, nice. Artifact put in the graveyard, you can pay 1 to make a goblin, nice.
Who felt that he was the one in danger was behind Kylox's kidnapping. Krenko believed that Kylox's secret research was the key to the recent spate of murders. As if on cue, yet another brainwashed Ravnican made an attempt on Krenko's life.
Oh no.
But his aim fell short.
Yes.
And instead of Krenko, Kylox was killed.
No! No! Not Kylox! I only just met him! Oh.
We managed to rouse the murderer from his stupor. He was confused and horrified. He claimed to have been at the flower shop. And then suddenly here he was assassinating a scientist he had never even heard of.
Oh no.
How curious.
At this point in the investigation, it was clear that victims were piling up at an alarming rate. What had started as a search for Zagana's killer had now spiraled into something much more wide-ranging and insidious. Teysa and Kylox had both been murdered in cold blood, and there were more bodies to come. As Proft and Etrata were contemplating the scope of this case,
The chalk outline is a card. They even did the chalk outline of the dagger. That's funny.
Across town, the agency informed Kaya and Kellen that Tesa's killer had been captured.
This art is amazing. Oh my gosh. So good. Beautiful artwork here. Just little like, oh my gosh.
A low-level hitman with no memory of the attack. And the bad news kept coming. Since she last crossed paths with Proft, Massacre Girl had attempted to murder Aurelia, killing 10 of her soldiers in the process.
Oh my gosh.
Massacre Girl, echoing the other killers so far, said she didn't know why she attacked Aurelia. Aurelia would not accept this answer. She gave Kaya and Kellen 24 hours to solve the case, or she'd march the Legion to war against the cult of...
While Aurelia mustered the Boros Legion, Kaya and Kellen raced against the clock, desperate to stave off a war the guilds might not survive.
Oh my gosh, this artwork is also glorious.
Rakdos. Almost 24 hours to solve the case, or she'd march the Legion to war against the cult of Rakdos, almost certainly plunging Ravnica back into chaos.
I fear a war between the guilds is exactly what our killer wants. Who could stand to benefit from such destruction?
Who could?
They were so close to finding the truth, but now the pressure was on. Elsewhere, Croft and Etrata were in Golgari territory in the Undercity, hunting down Izoni.
Nice.
Croft had noticed her spiders in Etrata's cell, and again in Kylox's underground lab. Clearly, Izoni was keeping tabs on the case. But why?
Whoa.
Once found, Izoni denied any wrongdoing, but was able to confirm for them what Kylox could not. Whatever the powder they found is, it is not from Ravnica.
Ooh. Ellen is the prime suspect.
The killer is. Obvious, really, when you think about it.
It's not Kellen. I'd probably not Kellen. Let's just be. He's not from Ravnica. He was just the first person that came to mind. But okay, let's hear what Alquist has to say.
I know who the killer is. Obvious, really, when you think about it.
Of course.
I'll reveal all in front of a group of interested parties, including the culprit.
Nice.
You'll just have to join me at Vitu-Ghazi to learn the truth.
So, given what we know, who has Proft identified as the killer? Who had the motive and the means?
Okay, motive. Who wants to kill them? I don't know. They don't like the Simic people. The means. I mean, who has access to a powder from a different plane? I guess we'll find out.
Teysa hosted the party during which the first murder occurred. She could have let in the killer, but she ended up a victim herself.
True.
And she appears to have had something to hide about the Phyrexian invasion. While she might have been involved somehow, we can rule her out as the main culprit.
True.
Etrata was clearly the one who murdered Zagana, but at the same time, she had no memory of the event itself. And she assisted Proft in gathering further clues. Is she the murderer, playing a long and complicated game, or just the murder weapon? Judith had her own quarrel with Teysa, though she claims it was minor. But she also knew about the guild pact with Rakdos. Is it possible she's involved in the murders, or does she have her own cunning plan?
Interesting.
Massacre Girl is, as the name implies, a known killer. She not only attempted to knock off Alquist Proft, but also attacked Aurelia. Is she, like Etrata, an unwitting pawn for someone else? Or is something more sinister going on beneath that not-so-innocent smile? Kylox felt threatened for the secret projects he was working on, but didn't reveal what those were while he was alive. Is it possible it had something to do with the powder that Proft found? Either way, his death rules him out as a suspect.
Also, the artworks on these like clue cards are super cool. Like, look at this. Like, they've got like the cool text, that blocky stuff going on. Very cool, very cool.
Krenko was convinced.
Like, look at this artwork. It's cool as heck.
He was next on the murderer's hit list.
Why?
And he was attacked by one of the brainwashed assailants. But they ended up killing the very scientist Krenko had just had kidnapped. Is it possible that he was behind the murders and used the attack on himself to dispose of an enemy and waylay suspicion?
Did he?
Massacre Girl's attack on Aurelia gave her the perfect pretext to launch an all-out war. But what if she was the one helping the murders along in order to establish a call for war that no one could question?
Interesting.
Still, it seems unlikely that such a righteous figure would be so underhanded as to stoop to murder.
Yes.
Agris was a beacon of justice in
Whoa, I didn't even know Agris was a suspect.
his life. But called back into the service by the Boros Legion, he disappeared without telling anyone his intentions. Could he be hiding something? Agris had no motive. He was only aiding in the investigation. A ghost just looking to retire. He was clearly not involved. We can rule him out.
Okay.
Could Trostani be involved? They seem innocent, but their guild has been through much turmoil as a result of the Phyrexian invasion. Could it have unbalanced the Dryads in some way, turning a healthy tree into something twisted and gnarled beyond recognition? And even if they didn't act directly, they are connected to another of our suspects. Several of the mesmerized Ravnican assailants had vestiges of fur on their robes, a possible sign that they were working for Tolsimir and his mount, the Great Wolf Voya. Izoni had eyes on each phase of the investigation. Etrata's cell, Kylox's lab. Was she just keeping tabs like she said, or trying to remain one step ahead of the investigation she knew would lead to her?
Oh gosh.
Or perhaps we should look more closely at the great detective at the center of this web. He has been at almost every crime scene, and this murder spree has burnished his reputation. Is he working both sides of this case?
Not Alquist.
This case was a tricky one. It seemed easy to solve at first. Of course, Etrata killed Zagana. We practically caught her red-handed. I witnessed Kylox's death, but the attacker surrendered without a fight. Someone had to be pulling the strings all along.
Oh my gosh.
So I called everyone here because I knew that the perpetrator was among you, and that they wouldn't be able to resist taking me out before I exposed them. As I had hoped, while speaking with Kaya moments ago, a flower grew from the wall and attempted to dose her with what appears to be mind control pollen, triggering my demise. Thanks to Izoni's help, we knew that this powder was not something we've ever seen here. This was the final piece of evidence I needed. The killer is none other than Oba, the central member of Trostani. Only Trostani has the power to create a new form of life like this. Any plant in the city was able to be used as a delivery system for the pollen. So, that's the method and the means. As for motive, each of the people Trostani killed or tried to kill was involved with the Phyrexian invasion. Teysa was communicating with them, though I'm told she was actually acting as a double agent for the benefit of Ravnica. Krenko profited off the war, and Zagana was experimenting with Phyrexian oil. No one was more damaged by the Phyrexian invasion than Trostani, emissaries of all living things on this plane. And so, no one had a motive for murder like them.
Jeez.
So there we have it. Oba, the central member of Trostani, was behind the plot, and Alquist Proft, with our help, managed to put the pieces together. But the larger mystery has
my pleasure
just
to help
begun.
my friend.
There are so many more puzzles to solve and secrets to uncover with Murders at Karlov Manor. Your eye to detail and detective skills are still needed. In addition to playing the new set, there are 12 puzzles and 1 meta puzzle to solve. You can find your first puzzle in the pre-release kit and then discover more in products like Play Boosters and the bundle. Go to ravnicadetectiveagency.com for more puzzles and the final meta puzzle.
Neat.
And if you feel like attending a party less deadly than the one at Karlov Manor, you can play early at your local game store for pre-release starting the weekend of February 2nd, on Arena February 6th, and available everywhere February 9th. If you want even more tantalizing clues and details about the murders
story
at
episodes,
Manor, story episodes are currently rolling out.
Great.
Keep a sharp eye out for any further clues, detectives. Ravnica's still counting on you to solve the remaining puzzles.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Wow. That's awesome. I'm so excited. Let's just hear the last second of the music. Wow. That was awesome. I'm super hyped for Murders at Karlov Manor. That was a very well-made video. Like, let's go. Oh my gosh. If you made it to the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag clues, because that's the main theme of this set, and that'll let me know you made it to the end of the video. I hope you're hyped for this set. Let me know what you think of Murders at Karlov Manor. The cards look sweet. The alt art looks cool. The theme is awesome. I'm so excited for this set. I can't wait to start seeing more of the cards, and above all, I can't wait to start drafting it. I hope you're excited for the set as well. That is going to do it for this video, though. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will talk to you next time.